And welcome, my friend. Welcome to lesson number 49, Separation of Powers. We'll be talking about the three branches of powers of our U.S. government, namely the legislative, executive, and judicial powers. Sure to be a very informative lesson that will help you understand how the United States government has been structured to receive power from the people. So get ready to learn a lot. And in this lesson, you're going to have 7 key phrases, 25 new words. So with your breathing techniques finished, your power poses struck, let's go now to lesson number 49 right now. Lesson 49, the separation of powers. Here we'll be talking about the 3 branches of power that the U.S. Constitution has granted the federal government, and also what it does for the states. We'll be talking about the 3 branches of government and some historical facts. What are the 3 branches of government? The U.S. government is divided into 3 parts. These 3 parts are called the 3 branches. The 3 branches of government are, number 1, the legislative branch, number 2, the executive branch, and number 3, the judicial branch. Congress is the head of the legislative branch. The president is the head of the executive branch. And the Supreme Court is the head of the judicial branch. The U.S. Constitution grants powers to each of these 3 branches of government. A system of checks and balances limits the powers of each branch. Very good. So let's look at some of the new words. Divided, dividido. Branches, ramas de poder o poderes. Legislative branch, el poder legislativo. Executive branch, el poder ejecutivo. And the judicial branch, el poder judicial. The head o la cabeza of the legislative branch de la rama o poder legislativo, it's the Congress, es el Congreso, comprised of the House of Representatives and the Senate, compuesto de la Cámara de Representantes como el Senado. The head of the executive is the president, la cabeza de la rama ejecutiva del presidente, and the head for the judicial is the Supreme Court, la Corte Suprema. There is a system of checks and balances to limit each power. Existe un sistema de chequeos y balances para darle un límite, limitar el poder de cada una de estas, porque cada una podría ser muy poderosa. Así que hay chequeos y balances para darle un balance a estos 3 diferentes poderes. The powers given to each branch of government overlap. Los poderes dados a cada uno de estos poderes o ramas de poder gubernamental overlap, se superimponen o superponen una a la otra. The press, newspapers, radio, TV, and the internet is often called the 4th branch of government. Y es verdad. Muchas veces la prensa, que incluye los periódicos, la radio, la televisión, la internet, los medios de comunicación, muchas veces se les llama el 4º poder gubernamental. This is an unofficial title, un título no oficial, and it isn't mentioned in the U.S. Constitution, y no es mencionado en la Constitución americana. Congress meets in the Capitol building. Congress includes both the Senate and the House of Representatives. It's what we call a bicameral Congress, which means it has 2 parts. El Congreso se reúne en el Capitol building, el edificio Capitol. Congress includes both the Senate and the House of Representatives. El Congreso está compuesto o incluye una rama, una parte, una cámara bicameral, son bi de 2 cámaras, una cámara llamada la Cámara del Senado y la otra la Cámara o Casa, House Cámara de Representantes. Bicameral es bicameral. Which means it has two cameras, has two chambers, ¿verdad? Bicameral, ¿verdad? Bicameral. The president works in the White House and he lives in the White House. El presidente tanto trabaja como vive in the White House, en la Casa Blanca. The Supreme Court meets in the Supreme Court building, obvio. And the Capitol, the White House, and the Supreme Court buildings are all located in the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. Es un distrito, no es un estado, y se llama Washington, obvio, por el presidente George Washington, el primer presidente de Estados Unidos. Okay, very good. And the new word here is located, localizado. Overlap, superponer. Press, prensa. Often called, frecuentemente llamada. Unofficial title, título no oficial. Mentioned, mencionado. Senate, Senado. House of Representatives, Cámara de Representantes. Bicameral, bicameral. Very good. Some historical facts. Article 1, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution gives Congress those legislative powers herein granted. These powers are listed in Article 1, Section 8. El artículo 1, sección 1 de la Constitución Americana le da al Congreso estos poderes legislativos granted herein, otorgados aquí adentro. Esos poderes se encuentran, están listados en el artículo 1, sección 8. Number 2, the Constitution does not mention congressional committees, but they are a powerful part of Congress. La Constitución no tiene mención alguna de lo que se llaman los comités o comisiones del Congreso, pero son superpoderosísimas aquí, una parte poderosa del gobierno. The White House is both the president's home and office. La Casa Blanca, como dije antes, es tanto su hogar como su oficina, la del presidente. The Supreme Court met in many different locations until 1935, when the Supreme Court building was built. That's an interesting, fun fact. Very good. Herein, aquí adentro, listed, listados. Congressional committees, comisiones del Congreso. Powerful part, partes muy poderosas. Okay, great. Repeat after me. The U.S. government is divided into 3 parts. Known as the 3 branches. These are legislative, executive, and judicial. Congress is the head of the legislative branch. The president is the head of the executive branch. And the Supreme Court is the head of the judicial branch. Number 4. The U.S. Constitution grants powers to each branch of government. But a system of checks and balances limits the powers of each branch. Very good. Number 5. The press, known as newspapers, radio, TV, and the internet, is often called the 4th branch of government. This is an unofficial title, and it isn't mentioned in the U.S. Constitution. Very good. Number 6. Congress meets in the Capitol building. Congress includes both the Senate and the House of Representatives. It's bicameral, which means it has 2 parts. The president works and lives in the White House. Very good, very good. We're learning a lot, right? Estamos aprendiendo bastante. Okay, so let's repeat after me these new words we learned in Lesson 49, the separation of powers. Divided. Branches. Legislative. Executive. Judicial. Head. Supreme Court. Checks and balances. Limits. Overlap. Press. Often called. Unofficial title. Mentioned. Senate. House of Representatives. Bicameral. Located. Herein. Listed. Congressional committees. Powerful part. Y de este modo termina nuestra videolección. Escribe un comentario abajo de qué fue lo que más te impactó de esta clase. Y no olvides de invitar a tus amigos, a tu familia, a que también saquen provecho de estas 45 horas de coaching en inglés completamente gratis. Y por favor regálame un like a este video si aprendiste algo nuevo. Suscríbete a nuestro canal de YouTube de NuParla y toca la campanita para que no te pierdas ninguna sesión de coaching de inglés que estaremos sacando en el futuro. Esto me ayuda grandemente a poder traer estas 90 videolecciones, 45 horas de enseñanzas de inglés completamente gratis para ti y para los tuyos. Y recuerda que por un pago único de solo $49.95 puedes obtener todas las herramientas súper avanzadas de NuParla, incluyendo regalarle toda la experiencia completa a un amigo o una amiga tuyo o tuya. Y en tu nombre yo le voy a regalar a un huérfano de tu ciudad, de tu país, toda la experiencia igual completa. Así que vas a ver todos los 12 beneficios en un video que aparece aquí arriba. Son los mejores $49 que jamás hayas invertido, te lo prometo. Así que de parte de todo mi equipo aquí en NuParla, thank you for learning English with us. Nos vemos en la siguiente videoclase. Ciao for now.